All right, I'll open.
I'll open, sir.
No, I will.
Welcome back.
You're leaving that in. Wait, no, it's me editing. I'm leaving it in.
Welcome back to another episode. Would you shut the fuck up? I'm going to do this. Welcome back to
another.
God damn it. Fuckers. Welcome back to another Bitches Shit. I knew you were going to do it too. We are now going on to... Oh,
we're a minute in.
Welcome back.
Jesus.
Piece of shit, dude. I knew that was coming.
Now I just want to start it.
I will start it. Welcome back to another episode of God Damn You. I can still hear your laugh. Sorry.
Welcome back podcast week 11.
Damn it.
We're done. It's week 11 football.
No. All right, guys, this week.
You piece of shit. Welcome back to another episode of a Mikeful podcast. I'm your host, Gabe, and I'm joined by Johnny and the piece of shit, Brad. I fucking hate them both. And we're here to bring you our predictions for week 11.
And we're leading all that in.
Way to power through it, Gabe. Way to power through that.
Yep. It took every will to just be like, I'm out.
All right. We'll start with our weekly update to our standings for our pick'ems. So in first, I think sole possession of first now is Joe with 116 points. He had a pretty good week. Followed by me and Gabe, tied for second. Gabe has the advantage there by one game. Then we have Brad and Brian tied at 98 points. And they're dead tied because they both have 95 wins, which I just noticed. And in last, in the usual spot, is Jaime with 101 points, down 7 coming into this week.
Me and Johnny spoke on it. Jaime has yet to be outside of the last place.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. You said me and Brian have 98 points, sir?
No, 108, I said.
You said 98.
Oh, we have 108.
I'm editing. I'll just cut it out so it makes it so you sound like an idiot. It's fine.
All right.
But yeah, Jaime has yet to be out of the first
Brian?
place.
All right, that's fair. Hey, I said to leave that in. Anyway.
Anyway, Jaime has yet to be out of last place.
Yeah. Good point, Johnny. Very original.
Thank you. We're like 3 minutes in and I'm already out.
Gabe, you're drunk.
Yeah, so we speak on it every week of just Jaime, you gotta be listening to it sucks because we talk about these episodes or these games after he gives the picks and we're always like, you're supposed to listen to us, and Johnny made a good point. It was like, he literally cannot.
Yeah, we do kind of keep shitting on him for that, don't we?
I'm like, you should have listened to me, and it's like, there's no way. I think he should just call me before he makes the picks. Maybe that's my advice now. This is how you listen to me.
He got his picks with 2 minutes to spare today.
See, there was so much time. Send me a message. I'll give you the tips. I'll help you out. But I guess that would be collusion.
It's collusion.
But yeah, he's got to do something. I don't know. Go for some Hail Marys. Maybe there is no hope.
Honestly,
maybe there is no hope. Jesus.
Well, because I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, the picks I would pick, the underdogs, they look good for 3/4 of the game, and then they are just bad teams and they lose, and then he wins those points, but it still seems inevitable because he'll pick decently, and then the ones he misses on, it's like, okay, yeah, I guess I would have picked that way, and it's just he's still last.
He's so far behind you guys that it's like give up the run, but just try and beat me and Brian.
That's what I mean. Oh, that's what he's been doing.
Look, he's down 7 points, which is a lot, but at the same time, it's not.
It's 4.
It's 4.
It's not terrible. Yeah.
You can pick 4 upsets.
Yeah.
You just have to hope the other people didn't pick those 4 as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
I'm still second.
I wasn't last, but I was second to last, and I was down around 7 points, and I had my one good week where I think I had 7 upsets, and I only missed one game that week, which was, I think it was my upset with the Raiders, or I missed 2 games that week, and I'm in first now, so, I mean,
he's second.
So second. But yeah, I mean, I skyrocketed from second to last to first that week. And now I'm kind of chilling. So.
Yeah, there's points that he could make. It's just, it is a Hail Mary throw. I don't think he's in that Kyler Murray situation yet.
I think you guys are really disrespecting my strategy for the pick'ems, which is basically I get up out in front early and then let everyone think I fade into obscurity and then just guess every game right for the last 6 weeks of the season.
Well, Brad, if it makes you feel better, the most he could gain on you is 4 points.
Oh, so he's still behind us. Great.
Yeah, and then you could pull up by 9.
What did he do for Brian?
He could pull 6 points on Brian.
So that's still... See, like, okay, we'll go through them. But there's so many situations where when he differs from Brian, he picked the favorite. And you're just like, okay, well then now you can get 1 point. Or Brian can get 2. And I'm just like, Brian's not the one that needs the 2-1 situation. You need the 2-1, you motherfucker.
Yep.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So we'll start with our Thursday night game, which it was a banger the last time they played, so expecting another banger. It's the Arizona Cardinals going to Seattle to face the Seahawks.
Yeah, on this one, I'm not quite sure if Cardinals can sweep them. It's kind of a big task. So I'm like, I think there's a higher chance that Seahawks do win this game, especially being in Seattle. But it is one that it was hard for me to pick.
It's just insane. The winner of this game decisively gets first place in the West because I don't see the Rams beating the Bucks this week.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just agree also that Russell Wilson hasn't quite been playing that well these past couple weeks. So I kind of see him, bouncing back, especially against a Cardinals defense. Same could be said about Kyle Murray. But I don't know. I like Russell Wilson in the Seahawks offense more than the Cardinals.
Yeah, we named the Cardinals as one of our, fluff teams, and they, barring some just fantastic excellence in last week, that was a game they lost. Like they were playing like the losing team all game until the very end there.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
So yeah, I don't see him pulling it off against Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had a bad week last week, but how often does he have 2 bad weeks in a row?
Exactly. Yeah. And even the one game that they won for Cardinals, the game that they beat the Seahawks last time, it was almost in similar fashion of last week, where it wasn't a Hail Mary, but it was a last play kind of interception from Isaiah Simmons that it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And it looked miraculous. Speaking of my Thursday night woes, do you know how much money I'm going to put on the Cardinals? I'm going to put so much fucking money. I'm going to prove this shit right. Who hates me more in the football gods? My pick'ems on Thursday nights or my actual betting? What is it? An immovable object meets an unstoppable force. I get my money back.
Either way, this is part 2 of the intervention, and Gabe, we're really concerned about your gambling habits.
That's fair.
So we'll move to Sunday. Philly at Cleveland. We all picked Cleveland. This is a game that Jaime should have picked, honestly, because I could honestly see the Eagles taking this game, just based off of if they're hungry enough to take that division.
I'm curious to know how well the weather is and if Miles Sanders is back. Miles Sanders was back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was back.
He was back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because back again at Cleveland. It's looking like Cleveland's going through something right now. I don't know. But
they're going through Cleveland.
They're going through their Cleveland.
Yeah, it's like their Cleveland phase.
But this one, I still think it's Cleveland. I agree with you. It could be one of those upsets that I can see happening. Surprisingly, another one, I would have taken also Atlanta in this one. Being without Drew Brees, you don't know how this is going to go. Atlanta has been playing better without Dan Quinn. They got a bye last week, so they're healthier, and they had a full couple weeks to prepare for the Saints.
I am starting Matt Ryan.
It's fair.
Yeah, not a bad move.
Especially just because those two right there, you knew that everyone was going to pick these two. That those are 2 points that you can get on everybody. Because there's always one week where we get one team where everybody picked is red.
Mhm.
And so, what do you lose out on? You lose an extra point, and now you're behind 8, or now you're behind 6. Like,
Yeah,
you're already behind. Might as well pick some of those things.
Yeah. We got a close one. Cincinnati at Washington. Washington is the favorite by 1.5, so that's just the home favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's the battle of the number 1 overall pick versus the number 2 overall pick. Joe Burrow and Chase Young.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Everyone took Cincinnati.
Not surprised.
Not surprised. I kind of upset. I wish someone would have took Washington.
I like it because now I get to root for Washington.
It could go either way. I'm rooting for Cincinnati because I have most of their players on the fantasy team.
You are high in their offense.
I have John Ross, newly acquired John Ross.
You have every
AJ
single,
Green.
except for T. Higgins. You have almost every single.
And Joe Burrow.
Play all of them.
And Joe Burrow.
Play all of them. Play every
Well, I was gonna
single
say wide
Bengal you
receiver.
have.
Huh?
I was going to say wide receiver. You pretty much every single one of them.
Oh, and I don't have Auden Tate.
Oh, I'm sorry. You might as well just pick them off free agency.
I debated it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, play all of them. Just have your fantasy
Yeah.
team be the Bengals.
It'll be a fun game to watch, honestly. It'll be fun.
It should, who doesn't want to see Joe Burrow win?
It's true.
So we'll move to Detroit at Carolina. Carolina is the favorite, home favorite. 4 of us picked Detroit. Brad and Hyman picked the Panthers. So the reason I stayed away from this game was the fact that Teddy Bridgewater might not play. In addition to McCaffrey most likely not playing.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that was pretty tricky. I think it's just one of those where you see a -1.5 line, and you're kind of forced to at least try to take the underdog in the off chance that they sneak away. I mean, Detroit's been looking pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. Offensively, for sure.
I'm going to go with my gut on this one when I pick the Panthers, just because I think I'm 7-1 on picking Lions games this year. 8-1 on Lions games this year now.
And do you normally not pick the Lions?
Yeah, pretty much. I think if they were following my picks, I think they actually have one more win than they do in real life. But yeah, I don't know. Something about this feels wrong to me. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. It was just a gut feeling where I was like, I'm not risking this one.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, we got Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. Kind of skipped through that one.
I should have put Jacksonville.
Everyone picked Pittsburgh was expected. They're 10-point favorites.
Yeah,
that defense is disgusting.
You don't hope for some loot and magic?
Oh, that'd be pretty fantastic.
Another game, I probably should have took the underdog. Titans at Ravens. Gabe, and Joe picked the Tennessee Titans. Which it's a bounce back game for both of them, and it was a matter of who I trusted more, and I'm trusting the Titans over Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like the Titans just haven't looked as sound as the Ravens. Like literally, they gave up last game just based on special teams performance alone, and just that can't have me putting faith in a team.
That's pretty fair. They are kind of a bit wishy-washy this year, but I just don't see them because I think they're now on a 2-game losing streak. If I'm remembering correctly, or were they at like?
No, they beat the Bears.
Oh, you're right. It was the Bears. Yeah, but anyone could do that. So it seems like they've had to play against now 3 really rough defensive teams. Thank God I have most of their fantasy team. Mm-hmm. Now I'm surprised they don't play the Steelers next, which I'd laugh if they really did. But
no, they already did.
Oh, that's right, they did. Yeah, they actually did pretty well against them.
At late,
huh?
That was that comeback.
Yeah. But they do pretty well, honestly. Like they're kind of matchup breakers. I mean, Derrick Henry is someone that, like, no matter how good your run defense is, he just bulldozes through anyone. Mm-hmm. Ryan Tannehill is like crazy efficient. So like, does that mean they're gonna have off games against good defenses? Of course, but like, it just doesn't scare me as much as most teams playing tough defenses. And so that's why I kind of saw them as more their value as much as like how I think the game will be played out. Same for this one. Moving on to New England at Houston. I like what Bill O'Brien-less Houston has been kind of doing a little bit.
Have they won?
I have no idea. But they look more competitive.
Yeah. I like it a lot better than a Tom Brady-less Patriots.
Yeah, and I just think, for me, I don't know. I just think New England is still one of those wishy-washy teams where this game could go either way. And so I kind of looked at like most games that are 50-50. I'm like, I'm going to take the two-point value most of the time right now. And hopefully two of them mix. Hopefully two of them hit. I swear to God, if like Washington, Carolina, and Baltimore win, then I'm just giving up. I'm fucked.
If last week and the Patriots weren't playing in a literal doomsday-esque storm, they don't win that game.
It's true, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And I like Deshaun Watson more than I like Cam.
Yeah.
And I think if Houston, because similar to like in the Baltimore game, that's all New England had to do was run it. I mean, it was such a huge X factor of like rain and all that. But like in this situation, I feel like you can predict that New England's going to run it and actually try to stop them. Hopefully.
It's tough. Texans don't have a good defense.
They don't.
Yeah.
But and Belichick's, because it's Belichick, they'll probably just come out throwing.
That's true. And honestly, I'm not, except for Jacoby Myers, I'm not a big fan of New England's passing game.
I just won't bet against Belichick, especially like if it's him versus shit team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bet against him.
That's pretty smart. Miami versus Denver, it's a Miami game. Like they're just going to take that one. I would assume.
It's more to a time.
Especially now that you might be without Drew Lock, which I think someone said, is that even an upgrade? Or is that a downgrade? And probably not, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just looks so good for Tua to go like, if he can get this win, be what, 3 or 4-0?
4-0.
4-0. He's 3-0.
Jesus shit.
Yeah. Pretty fucking good.
Which I was going to blame him if they didn't make the playoffs, which now he's 3-0.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those situations where you can't blame him that they don't make the playoffs, but you can't really credit him for making the playoffs. That team is just good all around. Mm-hmm. Like, he's helped. Like, don't get me wrong, there's not that there's no credit to be made, but it's not like he's carrying the team. Like, if the Chargers made it to the playoffs, you'd be like, Justin Herbert carried them, because his stats show it. Tua just does enough, and I think he's doing enough exactly what you would want. And I think that's what's so shitty, is that almost in any other year, if Tua was the only QB, you know what I mean? And like he was a first rounder, like these are good numbers for a rookie QB. Like he's not making those mental mistakes. He's not throwing interceptions. He's just, like you said last week, he's in a class of their own.
He's smarter. Okay? He was a smart quarterback in college, and he's showing that. Like he's not making bad decisions.
Dude, I like his release.
Like Herbert's like he's having a great season, but his first 2 games he had a bunch of mental mistakes. Mm-hmm. You're not seeing that from Tua. He's not making those little mental mistakes. He's getting the ball out quick.
Dude, that makes me believe that even if Miami doesn't have a good line, they're still pretty good because he can run it.
Yeah,
he's got it quick.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, if Tua never got hurt in college, he's probably the number 1 overall pick. He's probably on the Bengals right now, which probably would have benefited them because he's more of a runner.
Yeah.
Or even after that, like, because Joe Burrow did have one of the greatest college season, the greatest college season ever. So he probably still would have went number 1. But I think the Washington doesn't take Chase Young. I think they take Tua. So
I would have loved that for Terry. For Scary Terry.
But if that happened, Terry probably would have went sooner.
That's true. My thinking is just this year, if they get him a wide receiver,
Jalen Waddle.
That's a beast.
So I got a question. We've talked about before how this quarterback class is like the best ever. Like these rookie quarterbacks are just studs. Why do you guys think that is?
What do you mean?
Why do you think we're just getting star quarterback after star quarterback right now?
I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it with the whole Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, it was Ben Roethlisberger. I think Eli Manning
and
Phillip Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But if we talk about like a 5-year stretch of rookie quarterbacks, or 4, let's just make it college. What did we get in the last 4 years? Lamar Jackson.
We got Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and Josh Allen was in that class as well.
No, wasn't he in the Sam Darnold one?
So he
was in the Lamar Jackson one. Oh yeah, then you had Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
But now you guys are getting away from my question. Why do you think that we are getting in like this 4-year group of quarterbacks? Why are they so disgusting? Why are they so good?
It's just because honestly now quarterbacks are not coming out as fast as they were. Like
Joe
now
Burrow was a
quarterbacks
senior.
are
Joe Burrow was a senior, so you're right.
Yeah. So like now like Trevor Lawrence for example could have came out last year, chose to stay in college. Herbert could have came out 2 years ago, chose to stay because that was the big thing with who was it with Kyler Murray? It was supposed to be Herbert, remember? And then Herbert was hyped up for the next year, and then Joe Burrow had his great season. So
Yeah,
I think it's just like
I do agree. You're gonna always have a really good QBs, and you're gonna have some good QBs. I think what's crazy about this one is you just look at the situation that these three QBs have entered. I mean, you look at Joe Burrow. He's got a receiving core around him. He's got a run game around him. The only thing he's missing is his own line. And we talked how much that has hindered him. So we're kind of like putting that in a perspective that like, damn, like you're doing this good without him. He's throwing up the numbers. Justin Herbert goes to a good team. Like we've talked about how talented this Chargers team is. He's got a good receiving core again.
Yeah, but rookie QBs have gone to good teams before in the past. That's not new.
Well, they have and they haven't. I mean, you look at the guys we're talking about and how well they're doing. I mean, you look at Lamar Jackson, who's completely built their offense around Lamar Jackson, and that's kind of where he started to exemplify. Well, they kind of stayed stagnant this year. They kind of returned back to just what they did last year, and everyone just already knew what's going on. So you're kind of like, okay, is he as good as he once was? You look at Kyler going into the Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury went all offense that year. They started just drafting. I think they drafted like 3 wide receivers that round. They trade for Hopkins like this year. I mean, I'm not saying that's his rookie year, but you're starting to see more and more teams realize you need just to not draft a QB, but you need to prepare for this QB you're drafting. You even look at Sam Darnold as a perfect example. They did not do that. They have yet to really surround him with the supporting cast. They even gave rid of a wide receiver that could have helped him, and look how shit he's being right now.
And honestly, it's also a lot of where they went to college, who their coach was, because that's how they'll develop in college, and then even high school. Like you could have took, let's just say, Kyler, who was like a baseball player, and who also liked playing football. They could have just stopped like, oh, he's fast, like leave it at that. But no, they developed his arm. They developed his accuracy, all that stuff. Because now it's like, now you're not drafting a Marcus Mariota. Now you're drafting Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Because like because we kind of what we're going off of is like this is like a really really good class of their own. Many just because they're producing statistically just really well. Like we said, they got put into good offenses just kind of off the start. Because if you look at Baker Mayfield's rookie season, a lot of people had him hyped up. A lot of people had Sam Darnold hyped up, and you had a lot of Josh Allen hyped up. Lamar Jackson didn't really get his feet wet until late into the season. But most of these QBs, you kind of have to factor in how well they're doing for a rookie. Like we said, Tua in a normal year is doing great for a rookie. That he's doing just as much as we would expect from a rookie QB. The only difference is Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert is playing almost similar to what Cam was playing, but now there's 3 of them. It'd be like 3 Cams in that year. And so Cam Newton was throwing up huge statistical numbers. And you're just like, holy shit, like this is a great QB. He should be really good next year. But it was just because he was a rookie. He was throwing so many yards, but he was throwing so many interceptions. Then we saw the year after Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III. Both of them do really well statistically again, where we're like, this might be the greatest QB class. I mean, they're both just tearing it up. RG3 can't stay healthy, and Colts don't really build around Andrew Luck like they should have, and he retires early. So, who knows, from a year from now, we could be going back and being like, shit, are the Chargers in trouble with Justin Herbert because they can't build an offensive line around him?
That was also your boy that year.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Tannehill, yeah. Who was on the Dolphins and did literally nothing around him.
Because that was kind of my idea in just in terms of raw talent for like quarterbacks right now. Like, I think what Johnny said about like getting a lot of help all the way through from high school to college, like that increased like level of training, I want to say, that they're getting, I think is a big factor to it. Because I don't know why this popped in my head the other day, but that, and also like what is the quarterback meta right now? Like you don't have somebody like Drew Brees anymore really coming out of college who just like is able to stand in the pocket, shake off a tackle, and wait for that perfect pass. It's that quarterback who's able to slip a tackle and then run for 10 yards. Like, that's kind of the meta for starting quarterbacks right now.
The name you're looking for, sir, is Jake Luton.
Yeah, you're right. Jake Luton. Like, let's take Jake Luton for example. But no,
like he's saying there's no like pocket passers really, and that's why I said Jake Luton. He's a pocket passer, and he's not doing. I mean, he had like a pretty good first game, but then he goes against a better team.
So I think like it doesn't make sense to run your rookie quarterback like Jake Luton because you're still young. Like, these guys are 22 and 23 years old. Like, they're young guys. They have the athleticism to break away and make a 10-yard run. Why not let them do it?
Mm-hmm. It's also like a team's willingness to build around a rookie quarterback. So like, let's just say the Jets with Sam Darnold, they have not built shit around Sam Darnold. And I like Sam Darnold a lot. Like, I think he's really good. Like, I think he'd be on par with a lot of these quarterbacks if they built around him. So they take him, but then you take a team like Joe Burrow, gets drafted to a team that was ready for a quarterback because they built a solid receiving core, a top running back, a running back that could get it done. Their defense still needs work, obviously. Their offensive line still needs work, but they have the weapons there for their quarterback to produce. Justin Herbert, they have the weapons there. Tua, they brought in some weapons and they worked on their defense, whereas now next year they can go get him a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that if you plan on picking a QB in the first round, you magically got the whatever pick it is. Like, that offseason, if you have the number 1 overall pick, don't even hide it. Build around him. Mm-hmm. Cardinals did it. A lot of teams do that. They'll just build around the QB that they know they're going to get. I mean, I'm assuming the Dolphins didn't quite know which QB they were doing, but they built that team in the offseason. They just started buying players. They used their cap wisely. And so it really wasn't that much on the offense. But I know they had multiple first-round picks in there, and they were able to get themselves an offensive lineman through the draft. But yeah, I truly believe it depends if a team can truly build around the rookie QB or be prepared for rookie QB. Makes all the difference. Oftentimes, we're pretty hypercritical of a QB in their situation. But a perfect example is Ryan Tannehill. There's always been a talks of potential when he was with the Dolphins, but they never did anything to really shine that potential. He goes to Titans and resurges his career. What game are we on next?
Brad, does that answer your question?
No, not at all. But it was an interesting conversation.
Going to the Jets and the Chargers, straight up.
A team that did not build around the quarterback versus a team that did.
I had way too much underdogs to pick this, but straight up, if I was Jaime, I'd take the Jets.
Yeah, you may as well here.
I'll tell you why. There's nothing scarier than a winless team. And if we've known anything, the one team that can give them a winless team a win is the Chargers. Back when they were actually playoff ready, they gave the Browns their sole win in their 1-15 season. And not only that, but this Chargers looks even worse and looks like they can't buy a win. They literally cannot go out and buy a win. I take it. I'd take the Jets. I'd take Joe Flacco and the Jets beating the Chargers.
Did you take the Jets this week?
I told you I had too many underdogs.
Yeah,
I would have. I would have, dude. But I have 7 this week.
Yeah, but technically, one of them doesn't count.
That doesn't help my case that I still have like 6 underdogs.
Yeah, so
I do have 7. Yeah, I have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wanted to take the Cardinals to have 8. Would have had 9. I couldn't do it. I just could not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, here, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, I know, but it doesn't mean like I'm just saying like for the perspective
of
just
to
like,
look pretty.
You can't have that many underdogs. You can't have where the minimum requirement of underdogs is your minimum requirement of favorites. That can't be the same thing.
All right, let's move on. Packers at the.
You want to talk about Joe Flacco versus Justin Herbert?
No.
The QB showdown?
No, I'm hungry.
That's fair.
So we got Packers Colts. Colts are the favorite, 2.5. Not surprisingly, just because Packers have been one of the best teams this year.
Wait, what? The Colts were the favorite?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I literally scrolled over that. I 100% would have picked the Packers. I scrolled through it because I thought that the Packers were the clear favorite, and I was like, why would I ever pick the Colts in this matchup?
hey, it's too late now.
If you would have said Colts, I would have accepted it. But
I think it's going to be a good game.
I think it is. I just think what makes Colts so good is their pass rush and their run defense. So R.I.P. Aaron Jones. It's Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams going against Phillip Rivers and Michael Pittman Jr. in whatever horseshit backfield they're trying to deal with in there and trying to guess who's going to be. I don't want to be part of that. I think it's Green Bay's game. You know, I think
it's a game Jaime should have picked.
It's a game 100% Jaime should have picked. I don't see how you don't.
Like,
I can see how you don't. He
hates the Packers, that's why.
I know. His biases continue to hold him back.
Let me guess, me and Jaime are the only one who picked the Colts, huh?
No, my
Joe
brother
picked
didn't.
Joe picked the Colts too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, their defense has been really good.
It's really, really good.
I still just don't see him pulling it off. Although Aaron Rodgers does have a tendency to just decide to give up a game this year. I don't know what it is, but he's just like he's been underestimating teams all year long.
Yeah, but unfortunately they are not going against Dalvin Cook.
That is true.
They're going through a broken down, messy backfield. And I think the Colts will still have a good run game. I just don't really quite see them. Like, Dalvin Cook literally put up a QB number to beat the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And as good as the offensive line of the Colts can produce a run game, I don't think anyone in that backfield can produce what Dalvin Cook did to beat them. And that's honestly how I'd see you beating the Packers. I think a lot of people are going to look at the Packers and the Jags game and think, oh, well, if Jake Luton and the Jaguars can do it, I honestly can see Packers being pretty pissed off at that, especially Aaron Rodgers, and go on a revenge tour.
Didn't the Jags beat the Colts like week 2?
Week one.
Week 1?
Week 1. It was not it. They haven't done shit since then, so I would not.
Yeah. So we'll move on to Dallas at Minnesota.
Gotta believe in the Ben DiNucci. Oh, it's Gilbert now, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, the meme already died. Just like
Yeah, real fucking fast. That meme died.
I guess we can kind of skip through this one. No one picked them.
I mean, do we want to though?
Yeah,
I'm good. Dalvin Cook is going to literally put Dallas on suicide watch.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad.
I'm gonna call in like the Houston or the Dallas area and be like, you're gonna have an influx of people coming in on 72-hour watch.
You know what? It's gonna be sad again that Zerline is gonna put up the most points for the entire Cowboys team in fantasy again. But man, it's nice to have him on my team.
Can you just like put him at QB? Like, at what point can they just do that?
Well, I have Kyler Murray, so it's kind of a net loss.
Oh no, I mean them.
oh, you mean the Cowboys as an organization? Yeah, fuck it.
Well, so apparently Andy Dalton might play so.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that changes the line from -8 to
-10,
-7.5.
So we'll move on to our game of the week, Sunday night game, Raiders Chiefs. Upset with you. I'm upset with you.
I know. I'm sorry.
So
I said I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, but if we lose, it's.
I said I don't want to hear it.
Oh, I told you I was gonna give you shit.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I don't want to hear it. So I chose the Raiders, and I said, "Oh, we have to do the same thing we did last week." And I was like, "I'll take one for the team, and I'll pick the Chiefs." I didn't. I picked the Raiders.
Yeah. So Raider fans, if
don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
No, if we lose,
don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
If we lose, you could blame Gabe.
Yeah, it's not that you guys are going up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs who won the fucking Super Bowl last year. It's because Gabe picked the Raiders.
Yep.
In our so meaningful Pick'ems challenge.
Hey, you do have the commissioner's ear. We found that out last episode.
Apparently not, because I've been calling for Adam Gase to be fired, and I think they're just using him as their one-way ticket to the first overall pick.
Hey, gotta get that pick somehow.
It is what it is.
Tank for Trevor.
I think it's gonna be a good game. Mm-hmm. I think we take it.
Yeah, I like how we're at home. If this was the opposite, and I'm like, oh, we got the home win last time, then I'd feel more nervous. My only issue with this is, once again, the NFL fucking hates us. What else is new? And they decide to give us this game after their bye. And Andy Reid is like fucking phenomenal after their bye. But it's 2020, so who the hell knows?
Yeah. And we don't have to deal with no inbreds in the stands.
It's true. Also, I know most of their offensive line is in COVID protocol.
Good.
As close contact, not as tested positive.
I feel like...
if they tested positive, I'd just be like, oh, we have
They put. I think we put LaMarcus Joyner and someone else on there.
Cleveland Farrell.
I feel like the last game, they expected us to run the ball, and we threw it deep on them all game. I think this game we run it a lot.
I do. I agree with that.
I do. And then I think they'll set up with a run. Second half, guns blazing.
Because I mean, the Chiefs stupidly, they're just so cocky that they shot themselves in the foot last time and said, "Oh yeah, we know what we have to do against Derek Carr. We just have to stack the box and press against the line." And he thought, "Well, we have speed now, dumbass." And so we just threw it deep, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So now what are they going to do? They're going to play deep to prevent Henry Ruggs from bombing it on them, or maybe they still do the same thing. They play 4D chess and just do the same thing they did last time. And we throw it deep again. But either way, Derek Carr is way smarter to try to do either one.
And we have Devonta Booker on
Cooking.
a hot streak. We got Damien Arnett back, who I don't think he was there last time. Was he?
I think he was. My only issue is we are more hurt at the offensive line than we were last time. But I want to say we were still injured then, and we still put up pretty good passing numbers. I think Colton Miller should be back by then.
Last time he had a good team.
Yeah, the only issue is Josh Jacobs didn't do as much, like we said, but I can see him doing better. Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, dude, we lost him week 2.
Oh, true. So yeah, we should have Damon Arnett back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we lost.
Will be playing probably more defensive snaps.
Yeah, he's coming off his 2 interceptions, and it's the week before his first interception came off of Patrick Mahomes to clinch the game. So should be a fun game. Yeah, move on to the Monday night Rams-Bucks. Rams are the underdog. Gabe, Jaime, and Brian took the Rams. I don't know. Prime time. I like Brady.
It's fair.
Brady doesn't fuck this up in prime time.
Their defense will play solid. So it could be a close game, honestly, though.
For me, I think Rams are just starting to kind of cook. They're starting to feel themselves defensively, and I just don't think the Rams are a team to overlook anymore. And so I think this is a game where the Rams can truly show, hey, we mean business in the playoffs. We mean a business as contenders. If they don't win this game, it does set them back. But Tampa Bay is still a good enough team where, you take this out with dignity as long as it was a close game, and you move on.
Bucks are gonna wipe the Rams off the bottom of their cleats. It's gonna be gross.
And that's gonna do it for another episode of a Mindful Podcast. Thanks you guys for watching. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your audio satisfaction. Make sure to check out our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Yeah, we got a Twitch now. So yeah, make sure to check us out everywhere. Tune in next week for another episode.
We have a Twitch
Peace.
now?
Yeah, you're making a Twitch? You're going to make that Twitch?
No.
Then why are you going to promise a Twitch?
And I promised it. I said we had one.
We don't have a Twitch. Don't look for our Twitch.
Check out Hydrated on Twitch.
Yeah. Check out SH Hydrated on Twitch. He paid us for this ad. He fucking will. Bye, guys.